Hi all, this is Dr. K. Raghuram Mohan Reddy, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Okay, I belong to Mechanical Engineering Department. From that, I am explaining unconventional machining process course outcome based education. Okay, right. Introduction to outcome based education. Okay, in simple, in short, outcome based education is popularly OBE. Okay, OBE stands for outcome based education. Right. What is outcome based engineering education? It's not what we teach, it's what you learn. Usually teachers teaches to the students community. Students will have to learn and acquire the knowledge from the teachers. But the thing is that usually we are focusing generally on what we are teaching. But here the concept of outcome based education is that how far the students community have learned. That is an important element here. Okay, right. OBE, outcome based education, is an educational process that focuses on what students can do or the qualities they should develop after they are taught. Okay, usually the teacher will teach and subsequently few examinations will be conducted and some assignments will be given. So from all these assessment will be done. But the thing is that teaching part is a side, assessment part is a side, but the main thing is that how far the students have learned. Okay, that is important here. Right. OBE involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment and reporting practices in education to reflect the achievements of high order learning and mastery rather than accumulation of course credits. Usually in any graduation, students will have some credits. Usually students focus on acquiring the number of credits, and teachers are also preparing some courses and they deliver the content. Finally, teachers also will have to teach as to acquire the credits by the students community. Okay, but here accumulation of credits is not at all an important criteria, but rather than that students will have to achieve higher order learning skills. Okay, they have to be mastery in that. Okay, simply they study some basics and some important questions. Okay, preparation of a few problem oriented questions. Okay, that is not at all sufficient nowadays. Okay, they will have to focus on achievement of higher order learning. Okay, the students will have to solve creative thinking questions. Okay, logical questions, and students should be able to develop questions as per the need of the industry. Okay, for those questions they will have to acquire the knowledge from the faculty. Okay, so always faculty fraternity will give a good sound knowledge, but the thing is that students will have to acquire higher order learning from the faculty members with high end skills, and they should be able to deal the industry needs at the end. Okay, right. Now both structures and curriculum are designed to achieve those capabilities or qualities. That's what we have discussed. Okay, right. Here the curriculum must be designed in a such a way that the students community will be able to solve the real world problems or present society needs. or industry needs. Okay, right. A model education whereby students demonstrate what they know and are able to do whatever the required outcome are. Okay, a model education whereby students demonstrate what they know and are able to do whatever the required outcomes are. Okay, right. An approach that focuses on students learning rather than teaching. Okay, so here mainly our focus is on learning, okay, rather than teaching. Always teaching is required. Teachers must teach, okay, and students will have to learn. But the main focus is on students learning. Okay, already I told whatever we teach, simply we assume that students will learn that one. But that assumption may not be true in all the cases. Okay, so here the point is that how far the students have learned. Okay, so here the learning is important element rather than teaching by the teaching community. Okay, right. Outcome based education addresses the following key questions. Okay, what do we want the students to have or be able to do? Okay, what do we want the students to have or be able to do? Next, second one, what do you want them to learn it? Okay, sorry, why do you want them to learn it? Okay, why do you want them to learn it? Third one, how can we best help students achieve it? How can we best help students achieve it? Next, how will we know whether the students have achieved it? Okay, how will we know whether the students have achieved it? Okay, how do we close the loop for further improvement? Okay, how do we close the loop for further improvement? That is continuous quality improvement, CQI. Okay, right. Here learning is an important element rather than teaching. Okay, so here outcome based education OBE addresses the following questions: what, why, how. Okay, so how do we learn? Okay, what do we learn? Okay, how will they learn? Okay, how do we close the loop for further improvement? All these questions must be addressed in order to attain or achieve the learning outcomes, okay, rather than teaching. Right, now let us look at principles of outcome based education. Clarity of focus, design down, expanded learning, high expectations. Okay, now let us discuss one by one. Okay, so all these are some kind of integrated or interrelated concepts, okay, in association with this outcome based education. Okay, right. Clarity of focus. Teachers must be clearly focused on what they want students to know. Okay, first, teachers must be clearly focused on what they want students to know, understand and be able to do. Understand and be able to do. In other words, teachers should focus on helping students to develop the knowledge, skills, and personalities that will enable them to achieve the intended outcomes that have been clearly defined. Okay, teachers must be clearly focused on what they want students to know, understand, and be able to do. Okay, in other words, teachers should focus on helping students to develop the knowledge, skills, personalities that will able them to achieve the intended outcomes that have been clearly defined. Okay, so here what should be the teacher's focus? Okay, what items or what parameters that they want to deliver for the benefit of the students or requirement of the students or requirement of the industry. Okay, so here the faculty will have to address the things related to knowledge, skills and personality development. Okay, so all these three must be focused by the teacher to deliver the instructions. Okay, so instructional delivery should be cover the knowledge, skill set and personality development. Okay, right. Design down. It means that the curriculum design must start with a clear definition of the intended outcomes that students are to achieve by the end of the program. Okay, once this has been done, all instructional decisions of teaching and learning are then made to ensure the achievement of the intended outcomes. Okay, so here we have to design the curriculum as per the industry needs. Okay, so here we have to design down the courses as per the industry needs. First of all, we must be able to make ready the institute vision and mission. Okay, so from that starting point, the institute must have different programs, obviously. So each program must have program educational objectives. Okay, so each program must have some program educational objectives. Again, each program must have each program outcomes, program specific outcomes. From that, each program should design the syllabus, curriculum, and each course must have some course outcomes. Okay, so based on those course outcomes, we have to prepare the content. Okay, what are the topics to be covered for the particular course? Based on the course outcomes only, we have to design. So this is nothing but design development of the curriculum. Okay, it is based on the top-down approach. Why? Because first we must have some institute vision and mission. Again, departments must have department vision and mission. From that, we have to derive program educational objectives and program outcomes, program specific outcomes. From that, we have to derive the course outcomes. From that course outcome, we have to design the various courses related to the program. Okay, so based on the strengths and requirements, we have to prepare the courses with different credits. Okay, all courses need not be having same credits. Okay, right. So each program have some say 8 semesters or 4 years of the program in our engineering education. Okay, so in different semesters we have more or less 20 to 22 credits. Okay, some credits must be towards skill set, some credits must be towards professional courses, core courses. Okay, some credits especially for the projects, some credits towards the internships. Okay, so based on the curriculum design, the students will acquire the knowledge. Okay, so this is a design down. Okay, next, high expectations. Teachers should establish high challenging standards of performance in order to encourage students to engage deeply in what they are learning. Okay, helping students to achieve high standards is linked very closely with the idea that successful learning promotes more successful learning. Okay, so here the students will have to meet high standards. Okay, so with high expectations, the teachers will have to prepare the curriculum and they will have to deliver the content. Okay, and they will have to deploy assessment methods, and finally the students will have to achieve high standards. Okay, so the idea of the high expectations is to meet the industry needs. Okay, so simple learning is not at all sufficient for the survival of the society needs. So here students will have to meet high order learning skills, so that high expectations would be the challenge of the teachers. Okay, right. Expanded learning. Teachers must strive to expanded opportunities for all students in learning. Okay, teachers must strive to provide expanded opportunities for all students in learning. Okay, this principle is based on the idea that not all learners can learn the same thing in the same way and in the same time. Okay, however, most students can achieve high standards if they are given appropriate opportunities. So obviously in a class, we cannot assume that all the students will have the same knowledge and same ability to understand. Here the teacher's responsibility is to teach all the students to acquire good knowledge by the all students. But the thing is that here teachers will have a specific period of time, let us say 50 minutes or 60 minutes, to address all 60 students in one regular class. Okay, so here the teacher will have to plan for the appropriate content delivery to all the students. Why? Because here it is saying that the most students can achieve high standards if they are given appropriate opportunities. Okay, that is important line. So before that, this principle is based on the idea that not all learners can learn the same thing in the same way and in the same time. So we have to deploy different methods or techniques to understand all kinds of students. Okay, that is important. So we have to extend the teachers' services for the betterment of the students, so that all the students will acquire the knowledge, maybe with different intervals of time. Let us say one student may understand directly by the first attempt of the teaching. Okay, some other groups may understand when it is demonstrated somewhere. Okay, and some group of students may understand when we conduct a workshop. Okay, and some group of students may understand when we conduct tutorial classes. Okay, so because of all these techniques and methodologies, students may understand better. Okay, and at the same time we can accommodate some techniques. Okay, so think, pair, share. Okay, and different pedagogies are also there. Okay, for the better understanding of all the groups of students. So the teacher will have to deploy based on the requirement and based on the content delivery. Okay, so for all courses we cannot manage with the all kinds of pedagogies. So we have to identify appropriate pedagogies for the better understanding by the students. Okay, sometimes experienced learning, sometimes project based learning, sometimes what is that called, flip type learning. Okay, so students will have to prepare at home and teacher will ask some questions. Okay, so in the regular classroom teacher will not teach. Okay, students will have to prepare at home, they will have to deliver the content in the class. Okay, so flipped classroom, that is called flipped classroom. Okay, in regular class teacher will teach. Okay, in flipped classroom students will have to prepare at home, okay, with some assignment support or some logical information given by the faculty members, okay, prior to the learning at home. Okay, so all these deployments will give expanded learning by the students community. Okay, right. Characteristics of outcome based education curriculum, OBE, outcome based education curriculum. Right. Program objectives, okay, program outcomes, course outcomes. Okay, so here we are designing from top to bottom. Okay, so design is with top down approach. Okay, so designing is top down. That means first program objectives, next program outcomes, next course outcomes. Okay, but implementation, bottom up approach. Okay, so here program objectives to be prepared at the beginning of the system. Okay, and program outcomes are, let us say, 12 right now. Okay, some program specific outcomes would be there for each program, and from that we have to derive course outcomes. Okay, so here design must be top down approach and implementation must be bottom up approach. Okay, right. Here program outcomes, in short, PO. Okay, so in subsequent slides we find PO, that is program outcome. Okay, so we'll discuss later in detail, but right now the program outcomes are 12. Okay, right. A model hierarchy of outcomes. Okay, already we have discussed that vision and mission of the institute. Okay, first the institute must have vision. In order to achieve that vision, we must have some sequence of steps, nothing but mission statements. Okay, there must be a single vision, but mission may be in 2 to 3 steps or stages. Okay, right. That is about vision and mission of the institute. Okay, so from that we have to have program educational objectives. Program educational objectives. For each institute, we may have different program educational objectives based on the setting of the vision by the institute. It is not necessary that all engineering educational institutes have the same vision. Okay, the managements, okay, based on the stakeholders, based on the resources, can be designed the vision and mission uniquely. Okay, right. Next, so after preparing the program educational objectives, we have to have program outcomes. So already program educational outcomes are standardized. Those are 12 that we will see in detail one by one. Okay, so here see 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is top down approach. Okay, first vision and mission of the institute. Okay, and program educational objectives from this vision and mission. Next, we have to derive program outcomes. However, we have program outcomes 12, but along with these program outcomes, each program must have some program specific outcomes, usually 2 to 3. Okay, again, based on the program outcome, we have to have learning outcomes are course outcomes. Here subjects refers to course in the outcome based education language. Okay, so we cannot find subject here. Okay, here subject is nothing but course in the outcome based education. Okay, right. So here this is the fourth step. Okay, right. So first, vision, mission of the institute. From that, program educational objectives. Again, program outcomes. So finally, course outcomes. So this is top down approach. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the top down approach. Okay, but in order to implement or to reach that vision, we have to setting the course outcomes. Okay, so from these course outcomes, we have to prepare the curriculum. Okay, then we have to go from the bottom to top. Okay, right. This one is 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8 is the bottom up model. Okay, so 1, 2, 4 is the top down approach. This is for the design, and 5, 6, 7, 8 is the implementation. Okay, so design is top down and implementation is bottom up. That's what we have discussed here. Okay, we have to have some 3 to 4 program educational objectives. Okay, from the vision and mission of the institute. Okay, and we'll discuss program educational objectives. Okay, and program outcomes in detail. Okay, and course outcomes. Right. Right. Here we have long term outcomes and short term outcomes. Okay, here course outcomes and program outcomes are short term outcomes. Let us say in our engineering education we have 8 semesters. Okay, 8 semesters, nothing but 4 years of engineering graduation. Okay, right. So here course outcomes and program outcomes are associated to short term outcomes. Okay, what does it mean? Here course outcomes means in a program, let us say in BTech mechanical engineering, we have 8 semesters. Each semesters we have some 5 to 6 theory courses and 2 to 3 laboratories. Okay, and some skill oriented programs. Okay, so altogether 20 to 22 credits. Okay, so here courses will be taught by the teachers. Okay, so at the end of this semester, these courses will be examined. Okay, and also some continuous internal evaluation must be there. Okay, so here the students will have to answer the questions so that it will be assessed. Okay, so based on this assessment, we can find the course learning attainment so that we can measure. Okay, so here it should be measurable. Okay, course learning outcome must be measurable one. Okay, right. So by the end of the semester, how far the students have learned that course, that is nothing but attainment. That is called short term outcome. Okay, so this outcome is related to just 6 months. Okay, let us assume there will not be any supplementary examination. Okay, okay, so by the end of the semester, that is after 5 to 6 months, how many students achieve or acquired the corresponding knowledge or skill, okay, to that course. Okay, for each course, okay, different attainments would be there. Okay, in a semester already we have discussed that there are 5 to 6 theory courses, some laboratories, okay, and some skill programs, okay, and sometimes some what is it, internship programs, okay. So all these will be assessed by the end of the course, okay, not end of the program, end of the course. So these are short term outcomes, okay. Suppose after 8 years, okay, that means after the completion of the program, then it will be program outcome, okay. So program outcome is nothing but outcome of the all the courses in all the semesters, okay. So already we have discussed that in a semester we have 5 to 6 courses and some laboratories, some skill programs, some internships, okay. And subsequently in 7th and 8th semesters we have some uh, what is that called, project, and in 8th semester we may have some capstone project, okay. So by the end of the program, that means after the completion of the 4 years or 8 semesters, the student will have to attain some knowledge in terms of these outcomes, okay. That is associated to short term outcome, okay. But immediately after completion of the program, the student cannot achieve the program educational objectives, okay. So program educational objectives are that after 3 to 4 years of engineering graduation, how the student is able to sustain in industry or in any profession, okay. So program educational objectives are measured after the 3 to 4 years of engineering education or graduation, okay. So these are long term outcomes, okay. Suppose if a student, let us say from the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, joined in some Sigma company, okay. So after 3 to 4 years of his service, the employer, that Sigma company, may identify this guy, let us say from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, a guy named X, okay. Yes, his performance is up to this level, okay. He's extremely good, okay. Like that, they can comment or they may identify or recognize. So that is the long term outcome, okay. So based on the experience, based on the inputs given at the time of the program of the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering or in any institute, let us say, okay. So during education, okay, he acquires some knowledge and he can apply that knowledge in any company. Subsequently, because of his experience and inputs given and learnings from the institute, cumulatively he will have some performance. That performance will be measured by the employer, that is program educational objectives, okay. So those are long term outcomes, okay. And at the same time, every institute will have some vision, okay. So let us say today we have started this institute with particular domains or specializations, and with intake of, let us say, some 120 or 240. So vision is a long term outcome, okay. Already we have depicted here. So exactly after 20 years our institute must be in a position uh, to set up with good university level facilities and resources and research associated setups, okay. And the other things should be able to uh, give employment with, let us say, 20 lakhs per annum, okay, or sorry, uh, 10 to 20 lakhs per annum, let us say. In the beginning stage, the package may be around 2 to 3 lakhs. So after 20 years our students should be able to get the job with 25 to 30 lakhs per annum, okay. Like that vision, okay. Otherwise all the students should be able to sustain, and few students should be able to start a good startup, and they have to become good entrepreneurs, and the institute must be expanded in other states to give uh, good knowledge to the society. Okay, like that, each institute must have some vision. Okay, in terms of imparting the knowledge. Okay, in order to address the society needs. Okay, basically, institute must have a vision to address local problems as well as the global scenario. Okay, so all the institutes need not have the same vision. Okay, suppose if my institute is near to some seashore, okay, I may address the problems or economy of the sea related, port related things. Okay, suppose if my institute is near to some industries, okay, my institute vision may be towards the industry needs, particularly steels, okay, other economical aspects. Okay, like that, each institute may have different vision. All the institutes need not have the same vision, though they have um, organized the same programs. Okay, right. However, here vision and mission of the institute or faculty also have long-term outcomes. Okay, right. Right. Now come to the assessment, okay, and analysis part. Okay, right. Here, stakeholders, vision and mission. Who are the stakeholders? Usually, the institute will be organized by the few members. They may be management members, but here only the management members may not be the stakeholders exclusively. Okay, when we discuss outcome based education. Okay, so here the management may start any institute or organization for the no profit no loss basis transferring knowledge. Okay, so they are just promoters towards the society, okay, in order to impart knowledge and skill to the students community. Okay, so they are also one of the stakeholders, and the main stakeholders are students and employers. So after graduation, students will have to um, acquire a job, or they are able to start any business. Okay, and they may go for higher education. Okay, so here the inputs must be able to reach their requirements. Okay, so here employer is also a stakeholder. Suppose if we produce students without sufficient knowledge, how can these students will survive at the industry? Suppose if they recruit, the industry scenario may collapse. Okay, so here each institute responsibility is to produce good number of students and with good quality education. Then only the industry can recruit, and they can enhance their skills, their abilities, and the industry can expand so that the society needs can be attained. Okay, so here the other stakeholders are employers. So first stakeholders, management, okay, and next faculty, obviously, students, and employers. Okay, employers are industry. So these are the stakeholders. So stakeholders feedback and their requirement, their mission and vision will give some key points to prepare the program objectives. Okay, so those program objectives must be assessed and analyzed. Okay, once the process is completed, those program objectives must be addressed. Program outcomes. Okay, program outcomes. So already we discussed that the program outcomes are 12. Okay, so each program will have same 12 common program outcomes. Okay, and some program specific outcomes. These are different for different programs. Okay, let us say Department of Electronics Engineering. Okay, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Department of Computer Science Engineering. For these three engineering programs, these 12 program outcomes are common. Okay, program outcomes are common, but program specific outcomes are in different mode. Okay, program outcomes are same and program specific outcomes are different for each program. Similarly, if the Department of Mechanical Engineering is having BTech Mechanical Engineering and MTech Computer Aided Design and Computer Aided Manufacturing. Okay, so here PG Computer Aided and Computer Aided Design and Computer Aided Manufacturing is one program, and BTech Mechanical Engineering is one program. So here we have to understand that each department is not a program. Okay, so each department may have one or more programs. Just we have explained that one. Okay, in Department of Mechanical Engineering, one BTech program, one MTech program. Similarly, if you take the Computer Science and Engineering department, okay, Computer Science and Engineering department, in that department they may have different programs with BTech Computer Science and Engineering, with BTech Computer Science and Engineering with AI/ML, and Computer Science and Engineering with Cyber Security, Computer Science and Engineering with Data Science. Like that, there may be some other programs too. Okay, so here department is different, program is different. That's what you have to understand. Right, here program outcomes are 12. Okay, these 12 programs are common to all the programs, okay, across India. This is not true only for one or two institutes. Okay, not only for engineering institutes but also for other institutes too. Okay, right. Next, from these program outcomes, we have to derive learning outcomes. These learning outcomes must be assessed and analyzed. So after thorough analysis and assessment, these course outcomes must be documented. From these course outcomes, after thorough brainstorming sessions by the faculty members, okay, experienced persons from the industry, okay, and alumni. Okay, see here, alumni is also one of the, these are alumni also students, but old students, alumni. Okay, so these students will settle somewhere in industry after 5 to 6 years of their experience, or some after 10 years of experience. They may give feedback to the parent or their uh, institute. Okay, now the trend will be like this, so you have to prepare the syllabus, you have to have the latest knowledge on these things, so you'll have to have the course outcomes like this. So based on these course outcomes, we must have these contents like that. They will also speak on that. Okay, so there will be a definitely some brainstorming session before we have course structure and curriculum. Okay, right. Now, outcome based education for the present course, unconventional machining process. So department name mechanical engineering, course title is unconventional machining process, and course code AMEC 40, program is BTech, semester 5, course type elective, regulation IARE, undergraduate course 20 UG 20. Okay, so here course structure has having these modules: lecture, tutorials, credits, laboratory, and credits. Okay, right. So here this is theory oriented. Okay, so we have to address lectures, tutorials, and credits for this. Okay, so in a week, 3 lectures and 3 credits. Okay, and I'm Dr. K. Raghuram Mohan Reddy, Associate Professor, Course Coordinator for this. Okay, right. Now let us discuss prerequisites. Okay, so prerequisites for unconventional machining process, the 5th semester, is that 3rd semester manufacturing processes. Okay, so the corresponding course code is AMEC 05. Okay, right. Next, course overview. Unconventional machining process is advanced topics in the machining processes. Okay, unconventional machining process is advanced topics in the machining process. The concept of machining components of complex shapes made hard, difficult to machine materials with exciting tolerances and surface finish has resulted in the development of a number of new machining processes. Okay, right. So here, difficult to machine materials with exacting tolerances and surface finish has resulted in the development of a number of new machining process. Okay, so usually with non-conventional machining processes, we cannot machine hard and brittle materials. Okay, so here unconventional machining process is particularly meant for brittle and hard materials and even complex shapes that we cannot machine with the conventional machining process. Okay, right. Next, course objectives. The students will try to learn the one, the need and importance of non-traditional machining methods and process selection. 2. The method for metal removal rate by thermal evaporation, mechanical energy process and thermal energy conversion. Okay. Next, third one, the process parameters for machining of metals and the accuracy of surface finish in manufacturing sectors. Okay. So these are the course objectives. So here machining for complex shapes and the accuracy and surface finish and precision are the important parameters in the manufacturing scenario. Okay, so unconventional machining process is meant for precision, surface finish and accuracy. Okay, and the machining of complex shapes are possible with unconventional machining processes. Right. So from this course outcomes, how derived? Okay, first course outcome: classify modern machining processes, that is in remember level. Okay. Next, understand the mechanical energy based process and its process variables in understand level. Okay. Third course outcome is understand the electrical energy based process. Okay, that is in understand level. And fourth course outcome is apply the electrical energy based process such as electrical discharge machining and grinding. It is apply. Course outcome 5, understand thermal energy based process and its process variables, and it is in understand level. And course outcome 6, understand electrochemical processes and its process variables in understand. So these are the Bloom's taxonomy levels. Okay, so Benjamin Bloom's derived these uh, taxonomy levels: remember, understand, apply. Okay, so these are the lower order levels. However, we can see the higher order levels. Okay, analysis, evaluation and create. We will discuss all these things later. Right, now let us discuss program outcomes. Okay, PO1, engineering knowledge. Apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and an engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problems. Okay, right. PO2, program outcome to problem analysis. Identify, formulate, review research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems, reaching substantiated conclusions using first principles of mathematics, natural sciences, and engineering sciences. Okay, so here there is a little difference between program outcome 1 and program outcome 2. So here just basic engineering knowledge, okay, will be addressed. Here how the problem can be analyzed with the first principles of mathematics, natural sciences. Okay, right. PO3, program outcome 3, design and development of solutions. So here the student should be able to meet the design and development of solutions. Design solutions for complex engineering problems and design system components or processes that meet the specified needs with the appropriate consideration for the public health and safety and the cultural, societal, and environmental considerations. So here engineering means it is not away from the society. It should address public health and safety, cultural and societal and environmental considerations. Okay, so based on that, we have to develop and design the systems and find the solutions. Okay, so our engineering department or engineers' role is to identify the problems. Okay, for which problem, which domain knowledge is required. Okay, which part of region is having a particular kind of problem. So like that, we have to design and development of solutions. Next, conduct investigations of complex problems. Use research-based knowledge and research methods, including design of experiments, analysis and interpretation of data, and synthesis the information to provide valid conclusions. Okay, so here when we deal complex problems, we need to conduct some investigations or experimentations. Okay, that comes under program outcome 4. So in order to make the problems ease and in order to find the solutions, we have to have modern tool usage. Okay, so in conventional methods, we can reach to some extent. We have modern tools like IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities with an understanding of the limitations. Okay, right. PO6, the engineering society. Apply reasoning informed by the contextual knowledge to assess societal health, safety, responsibilities relevant to the professional engineering practice. Okay, right. The engineering society apply reasoning informed by the contextual knowledge to assess societal health, safety, legal and cultural issues and the consequent responsibilities relevant to the professional engineering practice. Okay, so here the contextual knowledge to be informed. So based on that contextual knowledge, we have to deploy uh, anything. Okay, that means suppose if we do not have contextual knowledge on particular region, if we dig some earth, let us say, for the purpose of establishing something, okay, then what will happen without knowing the contextual knowledge? We start in that, um, we can have some earthquakes. Okay, okay. So we have to identify, or uh, we have to be informed the contextual knowledge. Okay. So based on that, we have to establish the new things. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble. Okay. Suppose if we want to construct a big industry on a particular region without knowing the previous history, then what will happen? Suppose if the region is subjected to some earthquakes, then it will be a huge damage to the society, and the public health and wealth will also damage. Right. PO7, environment and sustainability. Understand the impact of the professional engineering solutions in societal and environmental contexts and demonstrate the knowledge of and need for sustainable development. Okay, so here education system should meet sustainable development goals. Our education systems should address the various sustainable development goals. So without that, we cannot make the structure and curriculum. Okay, so finally, the sustainable development goals should be addressed by the program. Of course, in every semester, it may not be possible to address. Okay, as a whole, okay, this is a holistic approach. Okay, so the students will have to address as many as possible number of the sustainable development goals. Next, ethics. Ethics is not a theory course. Okay, so ethics is a practice. Okay, apply ethical principles and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms of the engineering practice. So immediately after the graduation, the students must follow the ethical standards. See, suppose if the student, let us say, take the civil engineering. Okay, after the graduation, the civil engineering may be appointed as a chief engineer, okay, for big construction. Suppose if we don't follow in designing, if we don't follow the minimum ethics in the designing part, suppose if he designs by violating the ethical standards, what will happen? He gets the money, he gets the uh, some profit, okay, by taking bribe. Okay, suppose if we give permission to add some nonsense or some sand instead of some reinforced steel or some cement, what will happen? Then a huge construction may damage after um, 2 to 3 years. Okay, so the life of the bridge or construction should be expected period. Okay, but by taking some bribe, okay, by violating ethical standards, the designer designs and taking bribe, okay, in order to have the benefit for the engineer and the few contractors, what will happen? These limited people will get money, but the huge damage to the entire society. Okay, so lives will be destroyed. Okay, if the bridge collapse. So that is a part of ethics. Okay, I think hope you understand. Uh, Ethics is a practice that is not a question and answer method. Okay. Next, PO9, individual and teamwork. Okay, function effectively as an individual and as a member or a leader in a diverse teams and in multidisciplinary settings. So obviously, each domain will have different course structure and curriculum, but here multidisciplinary settings and interdisciplinary approach is required for the society. So individual and teamwork is also required. Okay, by individual he has to do. Okay, as a team also should be able to perform as a leader and as a member. Okay, right. And PO10 is a communication. So communicate effectively on complex engineering activities with the engineering community and with the society at large. Okay, such as being able to comprehend and write effective reports and design documents, make effective presentations, and give and receive clear instructions. So here communication will play an important role in the outcome-based education with program outcome 10. Okay, so here let us say take engineering drawing, okay, and English, okay, and let us say some account system. Okay, so all these will give uh, will give some reports, okay, in terms of design documentation. Okay, let us say, yes, these drawings will reflect in making or in manufacturing of these things. Okay, so that is a part of communication. Okay, here communication is not just an English communication, but also the communication between engineers or the communication among the various departments. Okay, next, project management and finance. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the engineering and management principles and apply these to one's own work as a member and a leader in a team to manage projects and in multidisciplinary environments. Okay, and PO 12, lifelong learning. Recognize the need for recognize the need for and having the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broadcast context of technological change. Okay, so obviously the technology will be changing. Okay, earlier the technology has evolved after the gap of 10 to 15 years. Nowadays the technology has been changing for every 10 to 12 months. That means in a year the technology is having more versions. So lifelong learning is very much required. Suppose if we have some knowledge, technology, it doesn't mean that it will help the society for the rest of the life. Okay, so here constantly we have to learn. Okay, that is nothing but lifelong learning. Okay, so here the technology is not fixed. Technology is variable. Okay, so it has its own direction. Okay, few technologies have different mottos, but whatever it may be the technology, whatever it may be the motto, here students will have to understand how the lifelong learning would be. Okay, on their course of learning. Right. Here PO1 for the program of mechanical engineering department, BTech mechanical engineering, and the course is unconventional machining process. For that, how the program outcome engineering knowledge is addressed. Okay, so the strength, if the key parameters associated to this unconventional machining process is with a good number, then engineering knowledge, then the strength is 3 here. That means most of the key parameters are associated to this engineering knowledge. Okay, so here proficiency assisted by semester end examinations, continuous internal assessment, and alternative assessment tools. Okay, particularly with tech talks or some video presentations by the students. Similarly, for problem analysis, okay, that is program outcome 2. So here the number of key parameters associated to this problem analysis are moderate. So the strength is 2. The strength is high 3. The strength is moderate 2. The strength is less 1. If there is no strength, no relation, okay, between the strength and the program outcome of the course. Okay, for each course we have some key parameters. Key parameters associated to the course. Okay, here the course is unconventional machining process. Okay, right. See here, in unconventional machining process, we cannot find many key parameters related to design and development of solutions. So here the strength is just 1. Okay, so here we have to design and development of solutions. Okay, with less key parameters. Okay, so here also the proficiency assessed by semester end examinations and continuous internal assessment and alternative assessment tools. Okay, similarly for program outcome 4 also. Okay, conduct investigations of complex problems. Here also the strength is less. Okay, that is one. Okay, right. And we have program specific outcomes, PSO. Already we have discussed that. Along with program outcomes, each program must have some program specific outcomes, maybe one or two or three. Okay, mostly one or two. Okay, sometimes based on the structure and everything, we can make to 2 to 3. Okay, here we have one program specific outcome. Okay, focus on ideation and research towards digital manufacturing in product development using additive manufacturing, computer numerical control, simulation, high speed machining. Okay, so here this is also unconventional machining process. Okay, this is also program specific outcome is also related to our additive manufacturing and computer numerical control type machining or manufacturing. So here the strength is 2, moderate. Okay, so many key parameters of KP are associated to this program specific outcome. Okay, right. So this is what mapping between courses and program outcomes. Okay, so here course outcome 1. Okay, course outcome 1 of subject or course UCMP, unconventional machining process. It has totally 6 program outcomes. It is not necessary that course outcome 1, okay, should have relation with all program outcomes. But as a whole, okay, these course outcomes must address as many as program outcomes and at least one program specific outcome. Okay, so with this, I'm concluding. Thank you very much.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.